What's going on, world? It's your boy Alex Miner, and today we're going to be reviewing a light that might look kind of familiar, but it's definitely gone through a few changes. This is the FalconEyes F7 Fold. If you've been following the channel for a while, you might have seen my review for the original F7 PockeLite last year around this time. If you're not familiar, FalconEyes is a Chinese lighting company that's quickly become one of the go-tos for flexible LEDs, but offers a full range of fixtures including COB and traditional LED panels. Last year's F7 was their first dip into the super competitive world of pocket lights, and I for one think they knocked it out of the park. The heavy-duty build, top-notch color quality, and often overlooked accessories made for a compelling package and definitely gave them a place at the front of the pack. But innovation is also one of their calling cards, and there just wasn't much in the F7. It was just better than most of the competition. It's obvious with the Fold they're trying to take home the championship, but I wouldn't start handing out trophies just yet. Don't get me wrong, the Fold is a monster of a light. It's basically a 6-inch LED panel that you can put in your pocket unless you wear skinny jeans. As far as specs go, you've got full RGB WW capability with 108 white, 108 tungsten, and 192 RGB chips with a pretty respectable 28 watts of output and batteries that'll last about 2.5 hours at full power. The bicolor range goes from 2500 to 9000 Kelvin, and the RGB gives you 360 colors to choose from with full control over saturation and intensity. You've also got that huge number of special effects like last time. Now at first glance, this isn't much different than the original F7 except for doubling the battery capacity and number of LED chips, and that makes sense because it looks like they just hooked two F7s together. Each half of the light has its own set of buttons and dials and its own USB-C port for charging, so you start asking yourself, why would I really want this? And that's where the app comes in. The biggest change in the F7 is what you can't see when you open the box. My guess is that the designers and the engineers at FalconEyes figured it would be easier to put Bluetooth on both sides of this rather than try to pass control commands and power across a heavy-duty hinge. The Dassault Light app gives you full command of functions on the Fold, including the multiple color modes like HSI, RGB, Lee and Roscoe gel simulations, the bicolor mode, color picker, and those sweet special effects. And speaking of the effects, one of my prayers from the original F7's been answered, and you finally have control over not just the intensity level, but you also have 10 speed variations for every single effect. Now some of them leave something to be desired like the lightning and the TV simulation, but for the most part I like them, and I think if you're doing indie films and narrative work, you might find them useful. Another place they made sure to step their game up is the accessories. One big negative for the Fold is its weight, so there's no way that the tiny friction arm from last year's model would work with this version. The one provided here is a massive upgrade, and I'd feel confident putting this on a camera cage. And since at its core the Fold is two of the F7 panels, FalconEyes is kind enough to include a grid for each half of the light that's very similar to the one available for last year's model. These fit the new F7 better than the old one's grid did, and they're slightly bigger, so no, you can't use the new ones on the old light. Also, they still include a silicone diffuser, but for some reason they only include one, not two. But the two accessories I'm most excited about take into account that the Fold is intended to be used as a single lighting source, not two pocket lights slapped together. Included with the base kit is a piece of diffusion with an elastic band that lets you snugly fit it around the edges of the entire light when it's open. It's not the slickest implementation, and it's not going to replace a 1x1 with a proper softbox, but it could definitely be convenient for something like product or macro photography. Next is my favorite piece, a grid called the Honeycomb 9 that doesn't normally come with the light, but can be had for an extra $20 if you get them from a seller that has them together on Amazon. I highly recommend this because if you order the grid after the fact, it's going to cost you $30. Now adding Bluetooth and all these accessories is good, but when it comes right down to it, what really matters is how this light performs as a light. The original F7 was a great background, hair, and fill light, but I know a lot of you are going to be wondering if this light can be used as a key, and exactly how powerful is it? Well, let me show you. So what's my overall opinion of the F7 Fold? It's an awesome light. It's not without its flaws, but with the app and all of the accessories, there are a ton of ways that you can use this. Is it for everybody? With a $270 price tag, I'm gonna have to say no. I think it's for people who are huge fans of the original F7, run and gun shooters looking for an ultra portable key light, and narrative filmmakers who will get full usage out of the app, the accessories, and just everything that this can do. But if you found the content helpful or entertaining, drop me a like, make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're getting notified every time I drop a new content, and make sure to leave me something in the comments to talk about. It's your boy Alex Miner.